All right. My break's almost done in 10 seconds. Not. All right. Let's reset our ears. All right. Welcome back, everyone. Back at we're back at Ace Attorney Investigations. I've been streaming less and less, and this might possibly be the last stream of the year. But you know what? I appreciate every one of you. I appreciate every one of y'all watching. No matter what. It feels like a tough time, but you know, I feel like if I ever want to pursue this is something that I just keep focused. Like, I feel like it's something that I can how do I say? I think it's something that I can put off. Maybe I'll like stop being a VTuber, but I'll still stream. Because the gaming is something just like something that I really appreciate. I just love doing it, you know? And VTubing is not gonna change that for me. Or like streaming, like being a VTuber and being not VTuber, it doesn't change anything for me. It's just it's gonna be a different setting in life, I guess. Anyways, let's enough of that sad stuff. Let's move on. Captain Turnabout. Who was I suspecting right now? I'm suspecting the warden of being the killer right now. Where did we last leave off? Tomorrow's another day. Simeon, her visiting hours are over. Oh, we just discovered the hidden tunnel, the secret tunnel through the mountains. Secret tunnel. Okay. So it's a day after. Although that might be easier said than done. There's nothing left to investigate. I think there's still stuff to investigate. There's another possibility. The well in the yard. Could a body not have entered the tunnel from there? In summary, the body must have been thrown down the well and moved to the workshop at some point during the show. Tell me, who else could have done that but Mr. Singh? But I just realized he wouldn't be able to open the cell because he doesn't have the bracelet. I just realized that. Unnecessary evidence has been removed. I like how it says that, but we don't, like, in real life, we don't know if it's unnecessary or not. There's a cover on it. Dried up well, slap bang. The middle of a prison. Figures it'd be locked. Well, luckily I'm a master lockpicker. Want me to do my stuff? Actually, this time I would like her to do that. I think not. We'll do this investigation by the book. Oh, I think lockpicking is a good skill to have. Don't be such a stick in the mud. Whoa! Whoa, what is it? The lock's broken, and from the looks of it... Oh, shit. It's been broken for a long time. What, is there, like, rust over... Rusted? Is it rusted? How can you tell if it's been broken for a while? and could have thrown Knight's body down the well. Judge Gavel's theory was that Mr. Saint carried out the murder here in the yard, and then during the performance, he threw the body down the well. What do you think, Miles Arena? Plausible or no? I feel like if you're opening that well, it would make a loud noise that would be too audible for us to like understand, like for it to be hidden. If Mr. Knight's body was here and which way it went. I like how Mr. Gumshoe's not Mr. Gumshoe, Mr. Why am I calling him Mr.? Miles is smirking when he's like, yes, it's a great idea, let's call him Missile. And bring Missile with you. Fairly sure Missile belongs to the precinct. I also like you to bring one of our witnesses. Call the Berry Big Circus and ask Miss Regina Berry to come down here. Oh, Miss Regina. Also, she's 17. Shouldn't she be in school? Hide and go seek. Or game. Yeah. I don't know if you're allowed to play hide and seek in a prison. One crime scene recreation coming right up. Let me show you. Introducing Great Thief's great secret weapon, Little Thief. I think this is like the recreation of the Yatakarasu. What are you doing? Fender, I mean, this is because it's translated this year, but Fender talking like that makes me think of, like, a zoomer. We need for the simulation. Let me take, yeah, we already know everything about Little Thief. Wait, did he call it Mr. Thief? Is Mr. Thief, that's cute. Of what the yard looked like yesterday. That was when they were in the middle of tearing down the stage. We didn't pay much attention to the well then. Who knows? We may have overlooked something. I'll use the photo I took. Beepity beep. Dark skies of Nini went. The little mantra. Modern day Robin Hood. Recreation of. Yeah, it's a projection. So, but it would be really funny if you thought that, like, your brain thinks that you have to walk on top of the stairs. Doesn't have data for it, and you'll wind up with those same mistakes in the recreation too. It's based on case photo, so we shouldn't run into any problems. All right, let's investigate in the recreation just like in real life. And I'll present evidence to try to clear up any inconsistencies you find. All right. Let's look at that well. Well. May just wait. Was it broken before? Stage, which means there aren't many people who could have thrown Knight's body down it during the show. Okay. The 30-pound weight. Ah. Sure, it was 30 pounds. So I think what happened was the 30 pounds to send Simeon flying. Okay. Certain looking hemp rope lying on the ground. And the ropes we used for playing tug of war in school. Made metal stake attached up to one end. Put up a tent, but there was no tent, was there? In which case that was it. We're the rats. I'm the giant rat that makes all of the rules to see what kind of trouble we can get ourselves into. Hey, Lahaj, how are you? They're not well, police. I think they're pulleys for... I think, we can combine these two right now. Oh, wait. I just realized it already has the weight on part of that. The Joel got sponsored for League. Got sponsored for League though? Let's go. Do it. Yours must have been for the audience. You cleared the... We've had this conversation before on between Edgeworth and Kay about moving chairs. And I made a joke about how I moved a lot of chairs when I was in church. This spawn is home to Warden Lagarde's beloved alligator. Look, those bones must be from her latest meal. Pick a carcass clean like that, yeah. Either ladylike in our own way. I have a sixth sense for these. Okay. Isaiah the Asian elephant. Okay. Gonna have to clean up my act with my fascination of yordles and voidlings. Set 2, but I think I can get away with it. Wait, what does the sponsor entail? What's my... That's about all there is to find for now. Wow, that's it? Partnership with Riot? Oh. Hey, that's cool. Good job. Just because I'm a set rat for content. Alright. Welcome back, Regina. And Missile. Why is Missile Angie? Alright, Detective, let's get started with Missile. Missile's Angie. Scared of something? Probably the alligator. Change ears to Benin. Oh, there we go. Eventually we'll get the other ears. And you know what? I need to stop being lazy and set up make it so that it automatically changes my ears when you type the names and stuff. Eventually, I'm waiting with anticipation. Nice. And like account of what the yard looked like during the show. Wow, we're gonna use Little Thief immediately after just turning it off. This is what the yard was like during the show. Time which the body was purported to have been thrown down the well. It's like magic. The area behind the stage is missing. Yeah, I mean, I'm excited for you. I hope that the Riot partnership goes well. Regina says she wasn't involved in getting the stage set up, so we don't have any data on what it was like back there. No data, no simulation. It's all because I let Simeon do everything by himself. It's okay. It's not anyone's fault. Back to whatever you want to recreate. I can switch back whenever you want to the recreation of them taking down the stage. Okay. During and after the show. And switch between the two at will. Why to talk with Kay? Okay. No, I hope I don't choke it. I mean, as long as you're not, like, slurring you're not swearing too often. I don't know what their rules are on swearing, but it's probably nothing bad. Nothing lewd or lascivious. Hey, what were these balls here? Basket was empty in the other recreation. I made a mistake when I was filling you in earlier. That basket's for holding Isaiah's food, but on the morning of the show, all the apples that were in it had vanished. Poof. I totally forgot to mention it. Sorry. Disappearing apples. The power room was blocked off. The fish was still there. Also, if you weren't here last week on Wednesday, this is a story of the clown Simeon Saint. Had my aggressiveness towards my team. Yeah. The way he flew off that stage. Wait, how did he fly off that stage? In a very unique manner, whereby the villain is sent flying from the stage. Having been ejected from the stage in the manner, the villain no longer appears in the performance. Would you say Mr. Saint was off stage? And thank you so much for the head pats, Fluffy. How are you? I need to. There's a lot of things I need to do. I need to make a notepad, a note for it. So let me write that in my notes. Automate ear switching. Reduce blurp, like all the. I'm doing good. I'm feeling a lot of mixed emotions right now. I'm happy that the year's over. I'm sad that I won't be able to stream for probably like I can probably stream off and on through the whole year next year, but it won't be as much as this year. Which makes me sad. But hopefully I can use that time of not being able to stream to up the quality of the streams themselves. Maybe. Reduce notification, stream alert size. Oh no, less streams. Yeah. I'm sad too because I do want to stream more, but more often, but I won't be able to because I'm heading into my final year, and I really do want to graduate this time. Not from streaming, but I do want to graduate from college at the very least. That way I can work a 9 to 5, you know? Okay, so here's what my expectation is for this. Hold on, I also need to raise the volume for this real quick. Okay, here's my expectation for my life in general. I want to get a 9 to 5 job. That way I can focus on doing work. Like I can have a stable job and then stream on my off time. That way I don't have to I can stream while not having to worry about streaming for money. That's what I want. That's what I eventually want to do. That's how I want to make sure that like I'm comfortable streaming in the long run. So yeah, that's my like plan in life. So that you know, I can stream and still be a small creator and not have to go all in and have to worry about being big all the time. You know, I'm happy. I'm happy with a small view count. That way, I can focus on chatting with everyone. It's okay. Sorry. I didn't mean to bring the mood. I don't know. Did I bring the mood down? If so, I'm sorry. If I brought the mood up a little, you're welcome, I guess. It's just something that like I want to do so that I guess everyone is happy in the long run. The end. So so back to the game. An elephant is sending simians off the stage. Isaiah's very gentle. Chief. Oh, thank you. And thank you so much for the head pats again. When we first rehearsed it, she barely nudged him, but by then he was flying off that stage. Not because of Isaiah, though. Simeon had figured out some kind of trick, apparently. Okay. Who, me? Oh no, it was Simeon's big thing. I wouldn't know where to start. Okay. Well, I have some ideas now. Ideas around the well and Mr. Saint's big moment. Right? The trick, yeah. He used the 30-pound weight to be quote-unquote sent flying. The recreation from when they were tearing down the stage. Imagine if we all had a little thief. Could they not have been used for this trick of Mr. Saint's? Wait, if she takes the little thief with her, doesn't the simulation end exactly how he did it? Okay. He said he used a pulley at the top of the well to suspend a heavy weight from a rope and lowered that down into the well. The other end of the rope went through 2 more pulleys and was tied around his body. Okay. How did he make sure the weight only dropped when he wanted it to? Use a stake to stop it? That's how? Mrs. Barry didn't seem to know anything about the trip or the contraption. Okay, so wait, but how does he time the stake? Huh? In which case, I suppose it must have been Mr. Saint himself who pulled out the stake. No, that wouldn't make sense. Oh, he used a monkey! Oh, he used a second rope. Oh. That's actually more ingenious than I tied it to the stake, and then when he gave it a sharp tug. And pretty clever of him. Weight dropped down the well. This one has to go into Great Thief's repertoire. These kind of circus tricks can require years of practice to master, but he probably only took like a few weeks. Practice it is then. To do so, would you mind updating the simulation? Okay, but the weight has to be through the grate. Wait, why is the 30-pound weight still there? Dropping a weight down well to help him fly off the stage like that. Imagine he could have needed quite a lot of weight. More than him, at the very least. Yeah, exactly. He needed more than 30 pounds. You have to have... at least your own weight. Some serious pull to lift him into air like that. Yeah. Oh! The apples! No? Damn it. Okay. Single 30-pound weight was from disappearing apple. Then say himself would be needed to trick the work. If I use the 30-pound weight and the pulling force, I mean, it doesn't make sense. I just wanted to try to reach to the conclusion that it couldn't have been the 30-pound weight. Yes! Reaching the proper conclusion. You haven't noticed, Detective? There's something strange about the weight we found. One weight on its own wouldn't be heavy enough. Exactly. A single 30-pound weight couldn't have lifted Mr. Saint off the ground. In which case, could there perhaps be some weights missing? Okay. Okay, what do we need? Fishing rod. Wait, actually the fishing rod might be useful. Wait, but I need one of them. Come on. Poor little guy scared out of his skin. Rip. Okay, wait. How heavy is the weight? I mean, what's the weight made out of? Otherwise, I'd hang around your neck like a big old albatross. Okay, let's try to connect some dots. I used to find metal. Insufficient weight? No. Okay, still not that. I'm still under the impression that the apples were used as the weights. What if we use this? Yeah, there we go. Hand me the metal detector if you... One day we'll use your fishing rod. Simple enough. Oh my goodness, we're using the rod. It's been a while. I think the last time we used the metal detector was back in the second game? No, back in the third game. In the case of the missing Maya and the... What's her name? Iris? Iris was the twin girl, the good twin. I forgot. Dahlia. Dahlia was the evil twin. And Dahlia murdered Maya's mom. When it starts going wild like this, just give me the order to examine the spot where I'm standing. Oh, the fence. Yeah, bruh. Wait. Huh. Why is there something metallic here? Let's take a look-see, huh? Okay, so 4 altogether. That'd be 120, 150 pounds. But why and why over here? The alligator. Hello. The metal detector is reacting to the alligator. Uh-oh. Is there something inside the alligator? Come back, alligator. Banzai. I don't think that's it. Wait, Allie hasn't been herself lately? She wouldn't even look at the food Warden Lagarde brought her yesterday. She was acting as if, I don't know, as if maybe she'd eat something that didn't agree with her. Maybe the metal detector responded to, yeah. I don't know, I've seen an alligator tear off a limb. What did we miss? Okay, we're gonna look at the well again. Oh, we're missing a pulley. We're supposed to have 3 pulleys. Oh, wait. Never mind. Raising and lowering a bucket. No sign of the bucket, though. Okay, wait. Can I look at this? Are we missing a second piece of rope? What are we missing? I think we're missing a second piece of rope. I'm trying to like think out how the system works. Eureka! No? Damn it. It's missing the other rope, but oh, what if I did this instead? Nope. The rope attached to the weight? Welcome back from the ads. Here's your redeem. Thank you so much for redeeming it. Ada. Eureka! I get, bruh. I don't know what I'm supposed to be hinting at. Eureka! No, okay. Why are you doing that? No! Invisible Man. I've never seen an Invisible Man before. I wonder why. I wonder why. Oh my! Let me turn around. Wait, why is it? Why is there? Why is there a front and back of it? Vital evidence that already been destroyed. Without case reproduction of the scene, we have no hope of finding it. Okay. Wicker basket, rather a cart. We already had this conversation. Power. No. It has to be back at the well then. Okay. So it has to be this. Oh wait. I meant to look at this. Maybe this. Maybe if I do this with the rope. No? Or maybe I could do it with No? Bruh. What am I missing then? Why wouldn't there be a front and back? Oh, whoops. Oh. Imagine this and this was just like were put together, but I don't think that's it. Oh, okay. I still don't know what I'm supposed to be implying. Yeah. Or maybe it's the pulleys again. It's Donald and Michael. No, it's not that. What am I don't know what I'm missing, chat. I don't know. Wait, did I deduce this with rope? Okay, I have. Wow. Wow. I used up all of it, but I don't understand. What am I supposed to be missing? And with that, the truth receded into the darkness, and then Simeon Sate was found guilty. The end. Retry. Retry the currency. Okay. Let's take a step back. Let's take a look at this. So we have the rope attached to the stake. Stake is yeah, no, I would have said the rope, but it's not the rope. Should I look? Captive turnabout. I'll look it up just for this one because I don't understand what it is. Captive turnabout. It's just something that I straight up don't understand. Investigation prison card. Right? Okay. Did I not do this? Eureka! What the fuck? I've been like pointing to that rope like for the whole time. There's a major difference between one of the ropes is missing. Wow, Mr. Saint's trick wouldn't work with only the items we see before us. I think one of the pieces of evidence we've collected might tell us exactly that. Wow. Take that. Besides Knight's body. Bruh. But it wasn't any of the iron weights we found. Yeah. It was Mr. Knight's body. So Simeon Saint did do this. Mr. Knight's body was a weight, yeah. Somebody first swapped out the weights used for Mr. Saint's trick. Then Mr. Saint used a contraption to make his accident. Oh yeah, you know what? It could be like someone else swapping them. Both the rope and Knight's body fell to the bottom of the well. Well, the rope was never used to restrain Knight. It was used to suspend his body halfway down the well. From this, we can easily see why most of the weights were hidden. Yeah. That they were hidden by the killer. But how wasn't there be blood everywhere? That's where the tarp comes in.
Take that!
So they stabbed Bronco. They wrapped him up. And then they swapped it during the circus? All we're doing is proving that the body did go down the well, which means that we're helping to prove that Simeon was the killer. But if Mr. Saint truly is a killer, why would he need to go to such lengths to commit his crimes? Fell down the well when Mr. Saint used his contraction during the show, therefore it reveals nothing about where the real killer actually was or what they were doing at the time. Time assigned to show onto those who were not at the show. To make us think that the crime took place during the show. In other words, they used a well contraption to construct an alibi. It would have been the day before the show, the night before actually. Started getting ready for the show at around midnight, 9 p.m. and we finish around midnight. So it had to be between that time period. Switch the bullets out for the body. I mean, I don't think he would have been able to do it. Yeah, Canis isn't the killer. Rocco isn't the killer. Disappearing apples, body used as a weight. I'm gonna use that. No? Okay. Because I feel like someone removed the apples so they can cart off the body. Do we need to switch the... Okay, we already know this dialogue. Wait, basket. Oh wait, we already had this conversation. Why wasn't there a check mark before? It's electrified. The other side would be the warden's office because, like, okay, so the warden could easily have killed Bronco and then taken him to the well through the office. Since he set it up at that time, switch recreations. There's anyone to be found here. There's no. I guess there's nothing. We already had this. I already had this conversation. She said, let's say seats are arranged. Reminds me of a karaoke contest. Oh, I was thinking there were 3 seats missing. We already know Canis and Rocco weren't able to go. We already had this conversation. Why am I still forced to go through this conversation? Excuse you. Okay. And the held Isaiah the elephant. Well, the entrance to the yard is people size, and there's like a gazillion megawatts pumping through that. Turn off the electricity, then all the prisoners would escape. Real puzzle. Bruh. Okay. Maybe we can connect some dots here. Isaiah the elephant and disappearing apples. Can we do that? Does it make sense? Yeah, it makes sense, I guess. The apples in the basket were likely eaten by Isaiah. Make sure to put the cart where her trunk couldn't reach them. It was still full of apples the night before the show. That the cart was moved to somewhere within Isaiah's reach. A large basket full of apples couldn't have been moved by the wind. Somebody moved it, yeah. But before the show had even started, the cart had been moved and its apples eaten. Okay. Smell of apple. Hey, plastic! Okay, wait, hold on. I think... Nope. There we go. Wait. Oh! Oh, it's a control button. There we go. We found... I got a new mouse, by the way. I need to... I should probably... Oh, you know what? I should add that to the... To the thing. Notepad. Flip. Redeem. There we go. Wait, what was the reset button? Was it... What was the reset button on this again? It was... Hold on, let me... Reset position. Is there a... Keybind... Settings... User... Control Z. Oh. Wait. No. I'm doing Control Z, but it's not working. B N M No. Q. Did you lock position yet? No. No, I did not lock position. Let's see. You know what? If I just look up VTS keybinds. Unused Windows hotkeys in VTS. Oh, that's not what I'm looking for. Official documentation. VTube Studio setting. Animations. FAQ? No. Animations question mark? No, that has nothing to do with that. Expressions, basics, VTOL. Did you? I already. Loading my own models, loading my own backgrounds, studio settings, interactions between animation. That's not it. Is there? What if I just look up scroll? Nope. Okay. Reset model position. Is there? Huh. Nope. I guess we'll have to... Oh. There we go. Oh. Well, we'll have to pretend that it works just like that. There we go. Okay. It was used for the elephant. Hold the apples. Full on day before the show. They have vanished overnight. There we go. That's what I was looking for. The basket moved night before, in much. I had to make a new model, and now it's the detail part. Oh, what happened to the previous model? Where it would switch out for the body around the same time. Then the next question we should be asking is, why was the cart moved? It was the cart would have been moving. Would have been blocking that door. Which would only mean that somebody needed to open it. Is it no longer locked? Oh great, it's locked. Last subathon I did was the goal was hit in 3 days. Hey, congrats! Oh, the warden keeps hold of that. I'll go ask her for it. The guard is the only one with the key. Meaning if somebody did open the door, they would have to get from the guard. I need to find a rigger. I would recommend my rigger, but he's become very pricey because he's been popping off. You know, good on him, but like, damn, shucks, bad timing, right? I think it was a break room. They must have come to tamper with those switches. I thought that they were using the basket to move the body. What might have lost power had a break been flipped? The security gates? The security camera?
Take that!
Yeah, it was 3 hours. 3-hour gap in the security camera. Somebody for the breaker. Killer? Yeah, shutting off the camera was what made things easier for them. Would have to be someone who had access to the breakers, and only one person has the key! Wow! Oh no! Oh no, it was the warden who killed Bronco. Oh, it's Eustace winner. First on the scene, the early bird wins the worm. First off, it gets the worm, and 2, you're not the first on the scene. What? You? How could you get here before me? Good morning, Mr. Edgeworth. I see you've made an early start. And I seen you made a late one, Judge Gabelle. This is not my only case. I am a very busy woman. Not all of us enjoy the freedom of a prosecutor relieved of his only current responsibility. That cuts, man. Oh, I do apologize. I meant, of course, as an associate attorney. Associate? More like asinine! Eustace, let us begin the investigation of the yard. Okay, I'll go get some officers to help.
Hold it!
That won't be necessary. Why not? We've already finished investigating the yard and won quite the prize in the process. But won? But I'm supposed to be the winner! Your Honor. I'd like to revisit your theory from yesterday. In order to thoroughly disprove it, I would caution you to choose your words carefully, Mr. Edgeworth. As I am sure you remember, your badge is in my hands. Ha! Pathetic! How could I forget? You've told me several dozen times already! Perhaps you'd care to try a different threat.
Overruled!
You have been warned repeatedly, yes, and each time my words seem to have fallen on deaf ears. Allow me to make this crystal clear. The committee cannot and will not tolerate insubordination.
Objection!
This isn't insubordination, this is the truth! and you can't handle it! The fate of my badge and the whims of the committee are of no concern to me now. The only thing that concerns me is proving Simeon Saint's innocence. Interesting, and spoken like a true defense attorney. In that case, I shall be equally uncompromising. In the name of the goddess of justice. I will strike down your case without mercy. I feel like if you have a telescoping gavel, the neck of the gavel will break off super easily, especially with that force. And when I am done, your career as a prosecutor will be over as well. I hope you do not come to regret this. You know what? Edgy, my boy. I think you'll be a great defense attorney. Just switch careers. My theory remains the same as when I related it to you yesterday. Mr. Carceretto did not see Mr. Knight's body when he passed through the tunnel. As such, the body can only have been dropped down the well during the show. We both know the only one who could have dropped the body down there during the show is Mr. Saint. That is where we're gonna present our Oh look, there's a bird on the guardrail. On the top right. Sorry. Got distracted. Okay, it's the last one that we... And you can prove it, of course. Of course you can! Who do you think you're up against? What Eustace means to say that is that we received the final autopsy report just ahead of our arrival. Busy looking after baby Winner, yeah. More like a whiner. Victor had died the night before the body was discovered. In other words, the night before the show. The cause of death is stated. Seems the wound is 4 inches deep. Simeon Saint was off stage for a period of 15 minutes. That was plenty of time for him to throw the victim's body down the well. I fear there may be something of a flaw with your theory, Your Honor. You seem very confident of that. But do you have any evidence to prove it? Yes, we do! Okay. Actually... Considering that there's 4 dialogue statements, here... I should press on everything to see if there's a hidden 5th dialogue.
Hold it!
I actually didn't need to press on this. I didn't, Mr. Saint. Well done, Killer. Do you have any conclusive evidence? Yes, I do. Man, emissary of the goddess of justice. My words are her words, but her words are wasted on USC. I feel like people who see themselves as... Is this a court or a cult? Exactly! Like, if you believe yourself to be a mouthpiece of a deity, that's so freaking conceited. I would love... Like, I would not...
Hold it!
That Mr. Carceretto simply failed to notice the body. You have witnessed the hussy. I noticed mud on you yesterday on that charming key in your hair too, to be precise. Would you or would you not have noticed the body had one been present? Dropped down during the show. The day before the performance, Mr. Knight borrowed the keys from Mr. Carceretto. The key to his cell. Mr. Knight then used the key to leave his cell and enter Mr. Saint's cage. The yard in that cage, and that's where he killed him. Day before the performance, he killed him. Okay, the following day, Mr. Carceretto crawled his way through the tunnel. There was no body there yet. Smelled that sweet smell. So Mr. Knight must have been in the tunnel already. His body did not pass through the tunnel until sometime after Mr. Carceretto had crawled through it. He used the tunnel right around the time the show was starting. The body was discovered just after the performance ended. UTG said the body could only have been thrown down the well during the show. And who the culprit must be. Okay. The only one who could have dropped the body down there is Mr. Saint.
Hold it!
Could nobody else have done it? This burial was on stage for entire performance. Most of the prisoners watching the show Those were not have plausible alibis. What about the guard? They too were watching the show, as was the warden. The guard could have easily approached the well unnoticed. Guards left their post during the show. I have checked this for myself, you know. I took statements from each and every one of them. You got the advantage. Yeah, okay, we already... Okay. So, there was no fifth dialogue, so we'll present our findings now. Wait. Hold up. Locating the power room where they tampered with the night before the body was found. We have to assert that the body was found the night before. I mean, the body was moved the night before. What if I... What if I present this?
Objection!
There we go. Sorry, Your Honor, but there's something else you're going to have to take into account. The well in the yard was rigged up to create a certain unique contraption. A contraption? Go on. You will recall that Mr. Saint was sent flying from the stage by the elephant. I do, just before he was to be absent for some time. He was only able to fly through the air thanks to a weighted rope he tied around himself. Dropping the weighted end down the well allowed him to complete the trick. Wait, wouldn't that send him flying as soon as he set foot on the stage?
Hold it!
It's simple, really. He kept the weight from falling by using a stake to keep the rope in place. With the second rope, he was able to pull the stake free, thereby controlling when the weight was dropped. We have found evidence to suggest that the original weight was replaced with Knight's body. This was done by the real killer in order to create an alibi. The estimated time of death tells us that the murder took place early in the morning. The killer could have tampered with the contraption in the time between the murder and the show.
Objection!
You're saying that Mr. Saint himself set this contraption up, right? Well then, who do you think is the #1 most likely person to have to use it to dispose of a body, Even you must see how this looks.
Objection!
If Mr. Saint was the killer, he could have simply done as Judge Gavel theorized, without those extra steps. Miss Berry, does anyone else know about how Mr. Saint's trick works? Well, let's see. We had to get the prison's approval on what we were going to perform, so I don't think Simeon's the only one who knows. And there you have it.
Overruled!
Interesting. You have certainly been diligent in your investigation. And yet, I fail to comprehend your actions still. Why do you not work to do what is right? Is what I'm doing wrong? If so, who is it that deems it so? How can you not grasp even that? How can you not see that you are doing wrong at this very moment? You are a prosecutor, and yet you aid the defense. This flies in the face of common sense. You are breaking every rule in the book. I think only of what is right and just, and act as I see and fit in each situation I am confronted with. This is the path I have chosen, and whether you can comprehend that choice is immaterial. Judge Gavel, you do realize that prosecutors can work as defense attorneys. Like, if they study properly, if they study properly, I know that, I believe that, like, I know you have to take the bar exam to be the defense attorney, like, requirements to be a prosecutor. You have to pass the state bar exam. Okay. I'm gonna copy this, and then I'm gonna look up defense attorney. Juris Doctor degree, state bar exam, strong. Yeah, you have to have a bachelor's degree, the Juris Doctor degree, and then pass the state bar exam. Yeah, the requirements are the same. You can double. You can double up. But if you mean to stand in my way, I will fight back with all I can bring to bear. Perhaps the goddess of justice is testing me. Very well. If it is her will that we must fight, then I shall end this once and for all. Listen well, Mr. Edgeworth, for there is another reason why only Mr. Saint can be the killer. Okay. Well, if the body was moved from the yard to the workshop, then Mr. Knight must have first been brought here to the yard from his cell. The only person who had the opportunity to do that is Simeon Saint. Wrong. And thus he remains the only plausible suspect. It is pretty sus. She said... Wait, hold up. She says, yeah, it is pretty sus. Ain't no way. I'm gonna just copy that, paste it at the Among Us Twitter. Hold up. Wait, hold on. Let me reply to someone real quick. Let me. K. Faraday. Why not a K Faraday outfit at Among Us? There we go. Sorry. Alright, but we've all met Mr. Saint. That's exactly the kind of thing he would do. It's entirely plausible that he took the cage with him out of absent-mindedness and nothing else. It may be plausible, but it is no more or less plausible than him having helped Mr. Knight to escape. I wonder if this is also 4 dialogues, so hold on. The only person who had the opportunity to do that is Simeon Saint. I want to press on that. I need to remind you that we are in a prison. The entire facility is monitored at all times. Anything out of the ordinary would have been spotted. What if...
Overruled.
I hope this dialogue gives me a 5th one. And he's the only person who was free to wander where he will. Seems you've forgotten something, Your Honor.
Overruled.
Forget is not a word in my vocabulary, Mr. Edgeworth. Very well then, recall this fact if you will. You claim that Mr. Saint is the only person who was free to walk around the prison, but there was a brief period of time on the day of the crime in this prison. A time when it would have been possible for anyone to move through the prison entirely unmonitored. Ah, so I was supposed to press on it. What showed there was a period of the crime. The security camera footage? Either this or the power. Mr. Saint is far from the only one who had the opportunity. Which opportunity are we talking about again? We previously established that the time code on the security footage was off by 3 hours, and from this we can deduce that there must have been a power outage lasting for that length of time, during which anyone could have moved around the prison undetected. You mean to say that our killer intentionally created this 3-hour gap? That it was no simple camera malfunction? Is that even possible? It's completely possible to create the 3-hour gap using this.
Take that.
Our investigation of the yard turned up something rather interesting. A panel of breakers, one which can be used to cut the power to the security cameras. We also learned that the door to the power room may have been opened at around the time of the murder. What? Such a shame to see one so capable fall so short of the mark. Then how does he explain the lock on the power room door? Oh yeah, it was kinda locked up tight, and the warden's the only one with the key. Those breakers are vital to the prison's infrastructure. So I very much doubt that anyone could have gained access to the Power Room's key so easily.
Objection!
What if it was the Warden herself? No, but one person could have. I beg your pardon? That person, the killer, had easy access to it, in fact. And what's more, their position here is such that nobody would dare question them.
Objection!
What? There's no one like that! The breaker to the electric fence is in there! They would be questioned in an instant! The person who had access to the power room key was...
Take that!
The real culprit is... Warden Lagarde. Oh, just look at you. Aren't you the cutest little poochie boo? Not just a pretty face, Missile also has quite the nose for sweet things. It seems he's smelling something very sweet indeed, and it's coming from you. Oh, darling, you're making me blush. I'm not even wearing perfume. Then perhaps it is the sweet stench of death. You're a regular poet, aren't you? I had no idea. But if I didn't know better, I'd almost think you were calling moi the killer. That's precisely what I'm calling you. What? Warden Lagarde is a killer? Mr. Edgeworth, do you realize what you're saying? Such a naughty boy. How could he suspect me, I'm the one in charge around here. It's like we're in a murder mystery, aren't we? And equally far-fetched. This is preposterous.
Hold it!
I have a lot of evidence that points to her. Although I can hardly believe it myself, but this is where the evidence points, and we must trust in the evidence. This piece of evidence proves that Warden Lagarde is a killer. Wait, it's either this or it has to be this. Oh, wait, this...
Take that!
Oh, I guess not. Maybe the power break? Maybe back to the power... Wait, I could have the key ticket. Oh, wait, smell. Okay, so wait, what was a sweet smell? Okay. Not here. This?
Take that!
Okay. Whatever it was could be the key to the case. What was a sweet smell? That's a time of death. Which was seized by the police during the arrest. Saying phone by someone. It's gotta be... Hold on, I just gotta... Who are you? Oh. Okay. It has to be this, the sweet scent, the same sweet scent on Mr. Knight's body. Their scent betrays you, Warden. And here's your accuser. Look at Missile, go boy! Go! Police dog? We hadn't tracked a sweet scent that was lingering around Knight's body back when it was first found. He now appears to be smelling the same scent. It's coming from you. Oh, darling, you are priceless, really you are. Your evidence is a whiff of suspicion. Verity, dear, do put him in his place. Seems Judge Gavel may have reached a similar conclusion to myself. You believe this to be no mere coincidence, Mr. Edgeworth? I do. After all, she had the key, and the scent found linger on the body is hers as well. Were it just one or the other, we might be able to brush it off as a coincidence. However... Indeed, then it seems a conclusion approaches. Perhaps we should hear what the warden has to say for herself. We should, and when we have, this case will finally be at an end. You're all being simply awful. Stop looking at me like that. Me, the killer. How could I possibly do such a thing? Verity told me everything she knows about the case. The victim died in his cell, so by your logic I would have had to kill him there. But how am I supposed to have moved the body, especially as I never went to the prison? I was too busy with work, you see. I was cooped up in my office till right before the show began. Check if you like. You won't find a record anywhere of my having entered or left the prison proper. I haven't the first idea of what harebrained theories you little scamps have cooked up, but I'm innocent. There's simply no way I could be the killer. Give me a break. Missile doesn't lie. Don't make it hard on everyone and just come clean. Oh dear, I'm afraid you are the one making things difficult. As I just said, I never went into the prison. If you think I'm lying, go check the records. We'll just have to find an— yeah. Please, Mr. Edgeworth, stop being a big silly. You made a boo-boo and you know it. I don't need to work. 59 some my life, but I killed him there. Don't care. Supposed to have moved the body, especially I never went into the prison. I was too busy with work. You see, I was cooped up in my office until right before the show began. Check if you'd like. You won't find a record anywhere of my having entered or left the prison properly. Maybe she went through the yard, yeah? But what if you took another route? Well, come now, sweetie. Surely you don't mean that awful filthy tunnel they discovered. Why, until yesterday, I had no idea it even existed. No, you had another way in. I'm certain of it. A route that didn't require going through the main entrance or the tunnel. The route you went through... went through this location.
Take that!
You went through the yard. Through the fence? Warden, you took the knight from his cell and brought him to your office, which just happened to be connected to the yard. If you had a way through the fence, then you would have been able to circumvent both the entrance and the tunnel. A gold star for creativity, darling. And how would I have gotten through the fence, The extremely high fence, topped with razor wire, with thousands of volts of electricity going through it. 800 USD figure inbound in 4 months? Hey, let's go! Congrats, Lahad. Yeah, how's she supposed to have gotten through that, The fence's electricity supply can be cut off from the power room. And only you had the key, Warden. No one but you could have done it. Utterly ridiculous. The power room is on the prison side of the yard. Warden Lagarde was on the detention center side. How would she even have reached the power room? Exactly, Verity, darling. Well, clever puss, you've dug yourself a real hole now. There's no record of Warden Lagarde having entered the prison proper. The idea that she could have shut off the fence by using the breaker is out of the question. Lose your cool and you've lost everything. But if I don't find a solution, she might still wriggle out of this. Hey, I said take a deep breath, not freak out and completely lose your cool. There's nothing to be gained by banging your head against the same wall, yeah? Ha! That's funny because when Manfred von Karma had a breakdown, he banged his head on the wall. What if he didn't do it alone? If you cannot find it, I have. You aren't doing yourself any favor by obstructing justice with your side. I said I object. But now that I've yelled it, if I don't come up with an answer, it's all over. I have one more thing to add, if you will permit me. Something that explains how the warden could have shut off the breaker from the wrong side of the fence? Yes, because it's not as impossible as it seems. An accomplice. She couldn't have done it alone. But what if she wasn't alone? Ooh, now we're talking. Way to flesh the old gray matter, kiddo. I believe the Warden Lagarde had an accomplice. Enough, you disappoint me, Mr. Edgeworth. What do you mean? Mr. Edgeworth has said nothing wrong! The inmates of this prison are all issued with security bracelets. The ones that raise the alarm if people go where they're not supposed to. Ah! You realize your error, and we are, of course, within the prison grounds. Where not only are the bracelets worn, but even the guards surveil each other for signs of wrongdoing. And the only ones who are free to roam are the animals, and they most certainly could not have operated the breaker. No, so our accomplice must be human. Then who did it, given that it cannot have been a prisoner or a guard? It was the prisoner. I wouldn't be so quick to rule out either, Your Honor. The fact is, there's one person, someone whose movements weren't restricted, and I have just the evidence to show that.
Take that!
This is one of the prisoner's bracelets. Indeed, a broken bracelet belonged to a certain self-proclaimed model prisoner. What do you mean? And who is this prisoner? Frank saw it. Warden Lagarde's favorite inmate. It's strange, isn't it, Warden, that he was able to keep his broken bracelet hidden and wander freely around the prison all the while. That is pretty funky, and I don't mean it in a good way. It couldn't be the case that he was permitted some sort of special leeway, could it? Although, you are in the habit of giving such leeway to certain others. Bodhidharma Canis, for example.
Overruled.
Mr. Edgeworth, that is pure speculation.
Objection!
In that case, why don't we ask Mr. Sawin himself? I'm confident he will confirm for us that he and Warden Lagarde were accomplices in this crime. If the two of them had worked together, a certain route into the prison becomes viable. The real route by which Knight was moved from his cell to the prison proper. Recall that there were two big obstacles in our path. First was the security camera outside Knight's cell. Second, the electrified fence in the yard. But she was able to remove both obstacles in one fell swoop, by having Mr. Sawin shut off the corresponding breakers. Alright, Mr. Edgeworth, you've had your fun. And, do you still deny it, Warden Lagarde? No, darling, you've got me. I admit it. Warden? Tell me this isn't true. Sorry, Verity, honey. I'm afraid it is. Frankie helped me do it. No way! Now she won't be... As Mr. Edgeworth said, I had Frankie switch off the breaker. But we didn't kill Knight, did we? No, sweetums, no we didn't. Oh, Verity, dear, I doubt your precious goddess will want to hear my excuse now. Oh, gosh. I was being threatened. I had no choice but to do as he said. Bodhidharma Canis, that awful assassin. How long has it been since that awful man came here to my beautiful prison? I'll never forget the day he arrived. Aw, poor Fox! Well, when we were alone, he said this to me. You should know that I have other dogs. Dogs not confined to this fine institution. Others? Yes, very loyal dogs. Dogs who will do anything I ask of them. Of course, he wasn't talking about real dogs. He was talking about his very human cronies. And then he said one last thing. I would recommend that you take care in how you treat me during my stay here. I wouldn't want to have to set my dogs on you, or your precious family. I had no choice. I gave him that cell. I gave him everything he asked for. Everything. Is that how he became the fixer? Yes, darling, I obeyed his every command and smuggled for him all that he wanted. Eventually, I brought dear sweet Frankie into our little conspiracy. He agreed right away, of course, because I made things easier for him too. You're smuggling in contraband. How exactly? Once a week late at night, Frankie would shut off the breakers. That allowed me to go from my office into the yard without being seen by the cameras. Then I simply dropped the packages down the well to the prison side and went back through the fence. Each one of them spritzed with a little of my perfume. That's what the switch was. Yes, it was a signal for Canis' dog. When he picked up the scent, he would fetch the packages and bring them back to his master. We had to make sure Rocco wasn't in his cell at the time, of course. Can't have him easy keeping him from finding out. Oh, we were all very much creatures of habit here at the prison, darling. Everything runs to a schedule. Meals, exercise hours, that sort of thing. We knew when he was little. And that adorable little bear of his freezes with fright at the sight of Canis's dog, poor thing. So there was no risk of him raising the alarm either. Sheesh. She's the perfect mule Canis couldn't fail. Frankie would sneak out again early in the morning to switch the breakers back on, and our work was done. Apart from fixing the time codes on the cameras, which I would do later when I got the chance. You have shared a great deal, Warden. The Goddess of Justice will surely take your honesty into account. I've been the most dreadful fool I know I have. I'm supposed to be the one in charge. The day of Knight's murder was also one of our delivery days, and so Frankie finished his heart did his usual work with the breakers. There was no package for me to deliver that day, so I didn't go out into the yard. The police have been trying to track down his accomplices for the longest time. Even I've had to lend them a hand myself, you know. Heaven knows how many times I've hauled the secretive scoundrel into my office to talk to me. But no matter what I say or how much evidence I present him with, he simply won't say a word. That's why you were interrogating Mr. Canis over and over. Exactly. I was trying to track down those horrible hench people of his. I borrowed everything the police had on that rotten scoundrel. I watched his every move. I intercepted every letter he wrote. His letters. Then I suppose she must know about his correspondence chess games too. But no matter what I did, I couldn't turn up any clues as to whom his underlings were. Living in fear like this, it's... Oh, you just can't comprehend it. Oh! Oh! Oh, it just hit me why she would ever kill Miss Bronco Knight. Because he was one of the dogs. And she found out that he was one of the dogs and she was like, oh, no, you don't. The words of her confessions have cleansed her of all suspicion. Surely there is no need to hound her any longer. Unfortunately, there's definitely more. I'm sorry, but this conversation isn't over yet, and I think the Goddess of Justice would agree. So you mean to make her suffer even more than she already has? Unfortunately, her suffering under Mr. Canis does nothing to prove her innocence in Knight's murder. She admitted herself that she knew of and even facilitated the so-called Fixer's delivery route. I believe she used that same route to move Knight's body. Where is your evidence, Mr. Edgeworth? It's in fact that the sweet smell of Knight's body is the exact same scent Warden Lagarde uses to signal delivery. What do you make of that? Well, that's because we've done it so many times by now that the whole swell probably smells of it. Some of it must have just rubbed off on his body. Smell. Yeah, always smell kinda nice down there. Gee, I don't know, smells sorta like dessert, I guess. Oh, dude, I could go for some dessert. Adjourn the session of the court. Object! Object! I object! I want to cross-examine. Finally! So we're actually done? Yes, Eustace, it seems we are. By the power vested in me, this court is adjourned. Objection! Hold it. Oh, it's a hold it. Oh, it's probably, Who was that? Come on, Judge G. Things were just getting good. Fender! Are you objecting to my adjourning this session? No. Would have shouted objection if I wanted to do that. You do you, G. Adjourn, don't adjourn, whatever floats your boat. What are you doing, Mr. Fender? Don't worry about what I'm doing. Let's just all take a chill pill, shall we? By which I mean a square of chocolatey goodness. Anyone? Are you trying to get yourself charged with contempt of court? No, my bad. I just had a quick request to make, is all. As Simeon Saint's lawyer, that is. Ah yes, I had forgotten that you were his real attorney, Mr. Fender. How could you? You're killing me here. Can you blame us? You've been making Mr. Edgeworth do everything this whole time. Right you are, which is why I figured it's time to put in some work. Work, you say, somehow. I don't believe you worked a day in your life. And let's say this is me doing some prep work for the upcoming trial. Mind if I question the witness? Now? Amusing, but what is there left to ask? I've got a feeling in my funny bone that Feast here has something more to tell us about the killer. Do I? Yes, indeed. See, as a major player on Team Simeon, I can spot a sympathizer when I see one. And you don't think he did it, do you? So tell us, who did? Come on, spill the beans. We're all ears. He's trying to coax Warden Legard into giving something away. We should go to all the trouble sending Knight's body on such an odd journey. It's because she wanted to frame Mr. Canis. If he was convicted of committing murder here, that would have been grounds for a transfer to another prison. Most likely a more secure facility. And where he'd be out of her hair forever, huh? She saw her opportunity and seized it. That's not fair! I was all ready to prosecute him! I know, right? But maybe we should find out what she thinks first. Don't want to get the wrong guy, yeah? Nice! Now Mr. Winter has to go along with it too! What a glib guy. Well, Warden, are you happy to testify further? Of course! How could I refuse this silver-tongued devil? Hey, Deacons, you have such a way with words. Just doing my job, Beef. That's besides, one can't tell the truth without telling the whole truth, can one? I'm simply dying to tell all verity, darling. Do say you'll let me. As you wish, court is unadjourned. Ooh, me either. Thank you for the timely intervention. Hey, it's the least I could do. Kay's not wrong. I've been leaning on you hard. And besides, the defense never rests, am I right? Simeon's dependent on us. Sadly, I think I just about exhausted my reserve as a cool lawyer chat there. And we can't foul this up now. Which means you're up to bat, Miles McSmiles. Show him that never rest spirit. Miles McSmiles. Fabulous, and let's get started. I really don't think anyone could. Then thank you so much for head pats. At least I think that's a head pat emote. Yeah, thanks for the head pats. Dreadful man Canis, there's no telling what went on between him and the victim. Cassie simply took a disliking to him. He's certainly the type. Whatever the sordid details, it was him. But it wasn't him. And then he has his dog dispose of the body. That simply has to be what happened. I did the most terrible disservice. Yes, you killed him. I suppose you could put it that way. If I weren't such a sorry excuse for a warden, this would have never happened. You know what's really funny about liars? They will downplay a crime. They will admit to a crime to conceal or downplay another crime. So she was like, oh yeah, I am a bad guy, but the only thing I did was be a mule. That's the only crime I've done, and you should look into it no other, because I'm such a good guy for confessing my crime, right? No. You're not. And that's why I have to clean up this terrible mess. Your honesty, truly to your credit. Sure. Okay, I want to get to that fourth statement immediately. Dude, this is like to him for he's the type. Oh, sort of deal. It was him. He stabbed that poor man to death. How would you know it's him? Well, sordid details. We all know that Canis once did for a living. I doubt the killing part gave him much trouble, especially as the victim was already injured. His neck, I think. I couldn't turn his red to right, poor dear. That's what they told me when they brought him in, anyway. Seems keen for us. Think you didn't know much about Knight. The victim was simply a fun target to that monster, nothing more. I suspect Canis used a chisel that was hidden in that chest set, don't you? Awful grisly business. Just magic, the man who probably didn't have time to cry out. Actually, I'd like to hear about them in a little more detail if you don't mind. I would chat with you all day. I'm only teasing. Of course we can talk about them some more. Canis used a chisel that was hidden in that chest set, don't you? Why would you think so?
Hold it!
I the one victim brought in, sweetie. You tried to keep up. The victim was a certified chess fanatic, so I led to believe. But the naughty boy stuck a chisel inside it. Can you imagine? We only learned about it thanks to certain deductions we made. So, how did she find out? Of course, in the hands of a killer like Giannis, even a chisel would serve as a deadly weapon.
Objection!
Oh, it's not that? Maybe the chess set instead of the chisel.
Objection!
Warden Lagarde, you strike me as being more careful than the image you project suggests. Oh, Mr. Edward, please call me Fifi or Sweetie Pie if you prefer. However, I think you may have been a little less careful than you realize in this instance. Hey, aren't you just the most adorable little creature? Don't be embarrassed. We're all family here. Come on. Don't let her get inside. Yeah, you said earlier that you didn't know much about Knight. In which case, I find it rather strange you know about the chisel. Well, of course I do, darling. Do you think we don't check prisoners when they come in?
Objection!
That is entirely irrelevant, and you know it. Knight didn't bring the chess set into the prison himself. It was brought by Mr. Saint when he came to visit. Knight wouldn't have had it with him when he arrived. What? Well, I mean, of course that when Mr. Saint came in,
Objection!
You checked him? I find that hard to believe, because if you did, that makes your story all the stranger. If you found the chisel, why did you not confiscate it there and then? Judge Gavel, did you tell anyone about the hidden compartment in the chess set? I did not. If no one leaked our findings, then how exactly did you learn about the chisel, Warden Lagarde? Because they certainly couldn't have been you when you checked Knight. English. Because it certainly couldn't have been when you checked Knight or Mr. Saint on their arrival. Indeed, such a thing would imply an intentional oversight if it had been found, yet let through. Precisely. So, Warden Lagarde, and answer truthfully this time. Where and when did you learn about the chess set? Licking her sweat. If you won't answer, then allow me. I submit that you... Alright, darling. There's no need to rub it in. You got me, alright? I questioned Knight. That was when I learned about the chess set. But please, you have to believe me. I did not kill him. One moment, Warden. This is a significant development. The court requests that you make a detailed statement on the record. Any objections, Mr. Edgeworth? No! For once, I'm in agreement with you! Very well, go ahead, Warden Lagarde, and please, tell the truth this time. I said a question Knight, but it wasn't anything serious, you understand. I make a point of talking to every newcomer to our little home. Knight was no different. We just had a little chat, you might call it. And after we talked, I had him taken back to his cell straight away.
Objection!
Well, I don't. What proof do you have to back up your statement? You may begin your cross-examination. Thank you. Said I questioned Knight, but it wasn't anything serious. I make a point of talking to every newcomer to our little home. Knight was no different. We just had a little chat.
Hold it!
How's he? I spoke with him. Oh, he was so open and honest, darling. That guy. He was talking about one croissant and promoting a prawn. Oh! He must have been talking about en passant? Wait, is that... En passant. En passant? So, instead of en croissant, one croissant, he's talking about en passant? And then promoting a pawn. So, chess terms. Oh, he said it. Okay, he didn't need me. You guys didn't need me to explain it. Seems he spared no one from his obsession with chess. And after we talked, I have to take him back to his cell. Straight away. If he really had gone back to his cell, he would still be alive today! You really think I murdered the poor man right there in my office, don't you? But what would my motive have been, darling? I told you, I barely knew him. I'm no angel. I have my grudges against Canis, but Knight had nothing to do with that animal. Unfortunately, you do. Knight does have something to do with that animal.
Objection!
Judge Gavel, I'd like you to take a look at this. Notes about a game of chess. What is the significance of this, Mr. Edgeworth? It was found in Knight's cell, which is exactly where you said you saw it, too, Warden Lagarde. But you didn't just see the game in Knight's cell, did you? You seen it in Mr. Canis' cell, too. What do you mean?
Objection!
Oh, come now. Don't tell me you haven't taken a look at the chessboard in maximum security. I imagine you watch his every move like a hawk. Or rather, I imagine you feel that doing so is your only option. If she wants to find out who his cronies are, right? Personally, interrogating your own prisoners is highly irregular, to say the least. But as you said, Mr. Canis had threatened you. He put your precious home at risk. That's why you took it upon yourself to question him. You wanted to find out who his dogs were. And so what if I did? You also told us you read his letters, which means you must have known about one key fact. You knew he was playing correspondence chess. And then who should appear but Knight, carrying with him a diagram of a very particular game. We ourselves used that diagram to infer a connection between the two men, and it seems you came to the same conclusion. But in your fear, you took your reasoning one step further. You surmised that Knight was Mr. Canis' henchman, sent to kill you. Which is the real reason she had that chat with the Bronxster. If his boss wouldn't crack, maybe he would. And when you questioned Knight, you made another discovery. Where there inside his chess set, you found a hidden chisel. The murder weapon itself. As far as you were concerned, that chisel meant one thing, Canis. Thus, you've convinced yourself that Knight was working for Canis, and that is why you killed him. I see you have no more excuses. Judge Gavel, your verdict, please. Much as it grieves me, there would appear to be little room for doubt. I hereby give my verdict. Bronco Knight was murdered by... It's probably Lagarde herself. In the name of God is justice. Who is it this time? Oh my god. Warden? It's a joke. It's all a big stupid joke. You people just don't get it, do you? Think you've proven that it's you who didn't understand things correctly. Me? Oh, poor little guy. Please, darling, I understand it all perfectly well, thank you very much. And I understand that there's a glaring contradiction in your theory, Mr. Edgeworth. You're just grasping at straws now. I have no time for this. Your Honor, the verdict. I'm curious to hear what the Warden has to say. All verity, I just have one last thing to say. Then Mr. Edgeworth can declare himself the winner. You rang? Does anyone remember a certain autopsy report? Of course, we received a finalized version only this morning. That's right, and I was listening to what you told us about it, Verity, even if nobody else was. You said the wound was 4 inches deep. 4 inches? Wait, riddle me this, Mr. Edgeworth. How does a Chinese chisel make a 4-inch wound? Mousatron's out of the commission. Dive in his up a creek without a paddle here. I'm trying to think of what's the reason. Oh. Ah! Alligator. Chisel wasn't the murder weapon. What other bladed weapon is there here in this facility? nor the evidence to provide those answers. Alas, we must wait until the trial to see this matter resolved, I'm afraid.
Objection!
Ah, come on, G. You're just giving the killer a chance to destroy the evidence. Are you calling the judicial process into question, Mr. Fender? No, not me. Nuh-uh. I tried, Miles. Any bright ideas? What is a real murder weapon? Nothing to add, Mr. Edgeworth. Allow me to remind you that claims are not supported by sufficient evidence subject to the are subject to the harshest penalties. Come on! You can do this, Miles. Loath as I am to admit, You can't give up now. Remember what Mr. Fender said. Simeon's counting on us. Without us, Remember how upset he was? He was devastated. There's no way he did it, but if we can't save him, who will? And what's more, he believes in us. He's sitting in that cell waiting for us to bring him some good news. And I, for one, won't walk away until we have some. Gee, Miles, your little buddy there is quite the motivational speaker. And she's right, too. When you find yourself on the ropes, think of your client. Picture them pleading with you to help them. Doesn't that make you want to fight back as hard as you can until the very end? Think of your old man, good old Gregory. No matter how bad things looked, he'd always find a way to turn it around and save his client. And you're just like him, right? If there is any way to force a turnabout here, you're the one who'll find it. Simeon's counting on you. If you mean to attempt a defense, I would advise you to consider the ramifications. You have repeatedly proposed misguided theories and have made numerous false accusations. If you do so again, I will have no choice but to judge you unfit to serve as a prosecutor, and relieve you of your badge for good. If I made some sort of fundamental oversight... Wait, she said my theories were misguided. Thing to say, then the court will tolerate no more of your time wasting. I hereby... Sir! Give my verdict. Object! Object! My theories weren't misguided, I was being misled! The defendant Simeon said... I think it's a little soon for that, Your Honor. I'd say it's well past due, darling. Wouldn't you agree, Verity? Mr. Edgeworth? You may proceed. What? Nani? I'd like to remind you of a few things. The sighting of his dog, Helmut. The fact that he wasn't at the show. These and the other factors made Mr. Canis the obvious suspect at first. This again, Mr. Edgeworth. You seem almost proud of your blunder.
Hold it!
But what if the real killer wanted us to suspect Mr. Canis? What if it was all carefully arranged? And what if the same was true of the chisel, our purported murder weapon? Knight has been stabbed multiple times in the same place with a bladed instrument. What if he was stabbed with the chisel after the real murder weapon had been removed? Just to leave traces of blood on it for us to find. That was how the killer misled us into thinking the chisel is a murder weapon. But why mislead us in this way? Why indeed? Why make us think the chisel is the murder weapon rather than whatever was really used? Warden, you took advantage of what the chisel seemed to suggest. What it suggested? What are you talking about, darling?
Hold it!
Mr. Winner, if I were to tell you the murder weapon was a chisel, what would you think? Huh? That Mr. Canis is the killer. And there you have it. That was a trap the warden set for us. Oh, Mr. Canis has a bunch of chisels, so she wanted us to think it was one of his, right? Indeed. That was her plan right from the start. To frame Bodhidharma Canis. Reasoning would appear to be sound. Warden Glugard seems to be harbor a deep, abiding hatred for Mr. Canis. However, I think you know what I'm going to say next. That alone is not sufficient proof that Glugard is a killer. If you cannot prove your theory, then this conversation ends here.
Objection!
We could just find the real murder weapon. How many times do you have to go over this? We searched the prison from top to bottom. This is quite correct. No other possible murder weapon has been found. So I'm afraid you're at a bit of an impasse.
Objection!
I can still prove my case yet, Your Honor, because it's still here inside the prison. This would have made sure of that. The security gate! I am glad you at least remember what it is. And do you remember what it does? Of course I do, I'm not an idiot! Security gate detects metal! Which means you can't bring anything metal into the prison or take it out. Oh. Precisely. If there's another murder weapon, it cannot have been taken off the premises. But nor can it have been brought into the prison in the first place. And so we find ourselves right back to where we began. What am I trying to tell you? What I am trying to tell you, Mr. Edgeworth, is that if you wish me to believe that there is another murder weapon here in the prison, you will also have to explain to me how it got here. Alright. We know that the chisel was smuggled into prison inside the pocket chess set, but our contention is that the chisel is not the real murder weapon. So if the weapon came from outside the facility, then there must have been a way to bring it in. Can you show me an alternate route? You borrowed evidence from the police to help with your investigation, is that correct? Oh yes, sweetie. Everything related to Kenneth is with me now. Heaven knows how many times I've hauled the secret scoundrel into my office to talk to me. Of course, that's how! The fact to it that this is here with us shows how a blade object could have been brought into the facility as well.
Take that!
Allow me to remind you of our conversation with Mr. Canis yesterday. Yes, it was but one of my bells. One of only two in existence. Just two. Two and only two. One for my knife and one for my beloved helmet. Exquisitely crafted. Utterly unique. My ears are my guide after all, and I must be able to use my tools. Precisely. Of course, as you said, the knife has long since been taken from me. So you see, there is a way for objects to be brought into prison unscrutinized. As part of the evidence Warden Lagarde borrowed from the police. What? Mr. Canis' knife was part of the evidence in the case against him, and that evidence was here in the prison. Not only that, but the knife had a certain bell attached to it. The bell that was attached to the chisel. Correct. The killer took the bell from the knife and attached it to the chisel. But that can't be right. The chisel only had Mr. Knight's fingerprints on it. Easy enough to explain if the killer wore gloves. She made it look as if the chisel was a murder weapon, and then attached the bell to it. In so doing, she made sure that all the evidence pointed to Mr. Canis. And who had access to the evidence from which the bell was taken? Why, only the person to whom it had been entrusted. Who was it, sir? Who has been messing the evidence? I believe that would be you. Isn't that correct, Warden Lagarde? Bells aren't exactly rare, you know. Anybody could have set that up.
Objection!
Not these bells. Unlucky for you, that isn't quite true. These particular bells are unique because there are only two of them in existence. What? By attaching that bell to the chisel, you as good as declared yourself the killer. But you don't have any proof that the knife was even here to begin with.
Hold it!
I don't. Not yet, anyway. Mr. Winter, I'd like you to order another search of the prison right away. But if you do find something, that's going to make things awkward for me. It isn't about what's convenient for you. We have to find the truth. You're a prosecutor, aren't you? Well, yeah, but, you know? Anyhow, it's not my decision to make. The warden would have to authorize it. You know full well that she will do no such thing. You have the power to insist on a search. Use it! Sorry, darling, but not without that evidence. The goddess just cannot bestow her blessing on those who lack proof to support their claims. Our work here is done. The rest of the matter will have to be settled in the courtroom. Not yet, bitch. I got to put everything on the line. I'm not a prosecutor right now. I'm an associate attorney with a client to defend. Only I can save Mr. Saint, and that means I have to object. Even if my chances are 1,000,000 to 1, it's still worth a shot. It's now or never. Should I object? Object. Bluff your way. I suppose this must be how a certain serial bluffer always feels. Yeah, Phoenix. Regardless, I cannot walk away.
Objection!
Wait, Your Honor? That better be good, Mr. Edgeworth. I've got it. What exactly? The real murder weapon, of course. I know where Mr. Canis's knife is. I do. Not at all. If I did not know better, I would say that you were bluffing. Ha! You wound me, Your Honor. I don't know the meaning of the word. It's terrible for my heart. There's no way you could. It's not here, I tell you. Well, would you be so kind as to enlighten us? Where is the real murder weapon? Somewhere not even the police would search. A blind spot in this zoo. A hiding place that the warden could be absolutely sure of. If you insist. Come on, Helmut. Open up. Did she use the same trick? No, that's ridiculous, isn't it? But the more I think about it, how many foolproof ways to evade detection could there be? Mr. Edgeworth, how long do you intend to keep us waiting? There's the faintest possibility I'm right, but if I'm wrong, we stand to lose everything. Your Honor, this is where the real murder weapon is hidden.
Take that!
Here? In the yard? Indeed. I don't believe I understand. Would you care to explain a little more?
Take that!
Of course, that's what must... The metal detector, sir. It's reacting to the alligator. Your Honor, I'd like to remind you of this piece of evidence. The chisel. Didn't we just figure out that that isn't the murder weapon? You might recall that Mr. Canis hid this chisel in his dog's mouth. Would you believe that the real murder weapon was hidden in much the same way? That's right, the murder weapon is hidden inside the alligator in that pond over there! What? No way! We detected the presence of a metallic object during our earlier investigation. Judge Gavel, we need to know what's inside that alligator. Time to dissect it. A veterinarian. I'm sure I could get little sweetie to open up for us. I'd be happy to give it a try. Please, by all means. Warden Lagarde, the real murder weapon is about to be revealed. Why not do the right thing and confess? I have nothing to confess. As you wish. Then you can simply wait and watch as your lies are exposed. Sir, we got it! That has to be it. It's over, Fifi Lagarde. The real murder weapon was Bodhidharma Canis's knife, making you the only person who could have killed Bronco Knight. I'm not the criminal here. This is all Canis is doing. I did the right thing. Knight was a threat. He held Canis' lapdog. Curse that despicable man, Canis. Why did he have to come and ruin my perfect little home? We could have been happy forever if it wasn't for him. He ruined my paradise on Earth. He ruined everything. Curse him! Curse that pitiless butcher. That awful, terrible, despicable man. Curse him! Oh, it's the dinner bell. Is she gonna, like, faint? Oh no, the fox ran away! Oh, the whole thing was foxes! Holy shit! Prosecutor Thwinner, sir. The test results have just come back. Thwinner? I guess we've all been under a lot of stress. Traces of Bronco Knight's blood were found on Mr. Canis's knife. It's just like you said, sir. Congratulations on stunning victory. Thank you, officer. Excellent work. You can continue complimenting me if you like. Yes, sir. Thwinner wins again. I think I'm welling up a little with rage. Excellent work, Eustace. Just a few loose ends to tie up, and we're done. Huh? What are you talking about? I just solved the case, didn't I? You have yet to confirm whether or not Knight really was working for Mr. Canis. It'll be vital to know if Warden Lagarde was simply jumping to conclusions on that front. Huh? Huh? There's Clueless and then there's you. Oh, well. I guess we better go get back to our investigation. Alright, officer, you're with me. You're about to see the winner win a whole lot more. Prepare to witness first-rate investigative talent in action. Yes, sir, I'm right with you, sir. I can't wait to watch you at work, sir. It's winning time. Oh my god, he actually said it's winning time and won all over the place. I expect this case will cause quite a stir. The attempted murder of a president is news enough, and now his would-be assassin has been murdered. But Knight never sought to kill the president in the first place. The truth is not always as important as it might seem, Mr. Edgeworth, in the eyes of both society and the law. How can you even say that? You do not have to believe me, however. As a prosecutor, Mr. Edgeworth is obliged to accept that this is the reality of the world he operates in. Being a prosecutor is about more than proving people guilty. That's what I believe. We are all free to believe as we choose, but the law is not to be toyed with for our own personal goals. If you refuse to accept this, then you must prepare to suffer the consequences. What does that even mean? Wait, you're not gonna take his... I'm afraid I must be going now. Farewell, Mr. Edgeworth. I feel like this won't be the last we see of her. There must be only one set of laws for everyone. But if following the law means sacrificing the truth, can I really do that in good conscience? Simeon, you're out! Oh, look, the monkey's here too. Hi, Regina. Is everything alright? They did let you out, right? Yeah. But I'm so confused about what's going on. Some guy just came and said I was free to go, and that I have Mr. Edgeworth to thank. You sure do. Mr. Edgeworth found out who the real killer is. Wow, really? You did that for me, Mr. Edgeworth? Oh no, stop staring at me like that. I'm innocent, I swear. Don't pull the rug out from under me now. It's okay, we're not crypto scammers. We're not crypto scammers, we don't do any rug pulls here. Okay, thank you, Mr. Edgeworth. Thank you. And great big Regina Berry, thank you from me too. Mr. Saint talking directly to me. Small victories, I suppose. Can I just ask one question, Mr. Attorney? Sure. I thought Bronco was my friend. Oh, my best friend. I trusted him, but now... Well, it's just... I never knew. I never would have believed that he could hate somebody enough to want to kill them. If he kept something like that from me, then he never really trusted me, did he? No, he didn't. If he had, he just told me I could have stopped him. I could have told him that hate never helps, that he had to let go of all that stuff. Wait, but how does he know about that? I thought the assassination attempt was the hush. Oh, a fake assassination attempt was hush hush. It's the chest I brought for him. I had a hidden chisel inside. I imagine he meant to use it to escape. What? You mean he was using me? No, he believed in you. He knew he could count on you to bring it, and that you would never be so untrusting as to look inside. I imagine by not telling you, he was hoping he'd keep you from getting caught up in his mess. Oh. Bronco, why didn't you tell me? At least you understand now, right, Simeon? I'm sure he does. He may not show it, but Simeon's no dummy. A good night's sleep and he'll be completely over this whole thing by tomorrow. I don't know about that. Actually, maybe he might. I don't know. I still... That eye bulge kind of makes me suspect him a little bit. Oh, we're doing a new show soon. I'd love you to come and start with. Hey, that's Max Galactica. Max Galactica's back, chat. I mean, even though he lost to Troop Gramari. It's kind of nice to see Max Galactica back in at least as a cameo. I think he was a pretty decent guy. Well, I'll think about it. We'll think about it. Hey, you and Regent got acquainted. What? Regent? The tiger? No way! I can't! No. Oh, you'll be fine, silly. You'll never meet a nicer kitty cat. I think the last time you said that you were talking about Leon the lion, and he bit a guy. He's ranging to anything but that, please. Another satisfied customer. Oh, that was really something, Smiles. Talking about pulling it out of the bag. I couldn't have done it without you, Fender. Without your timely intervention, she would have gotten away. Besides, I have you to thank for even being able to investigate the case in the first place. Oh, stop it. Pat me on the back any harder and you're gonna make me blush. Or topple over. I suppose it would be asking too much for you to take this seriously. Seriously? Miles, my friend, I'm always serious. Anyway, how does it feel to save an innocent client? That's what it means to be an attorney, after all. To be an attorney. Gotta say, had a blast. Reminded me of the good old days. Like Gregory was standing there right beside me. It's been like a zillion years since I felt this warm and fuzzy on the job. That's good, bittersweet. Not sure. Say, Miles, you ever thought about going into the defense game full time? Not a chance. Excuse me. You know, pick up where Gregory left off. Get out there and actually help people. Hey, pal, don't get any big ideas. Mr. Edgeworth ain't about to switch sides. Why not? Coming over to the light side's all the rage. Everybody's doing it these days. Come on, Mr. Fender, you know it's not about that. Chill, team, chill. Don't get it twisted. I was just asking a perfectly innocent question. No, you weren't. The heck you were. Looks like you got a mean defense team there yourself, Miles. Fender, I am a prosecutor. Yep, and I'm an attorney. You could be one too. I'm serious. Well, I said my piece. You change your mind. You change your mind. You know who to call. I'll be waiting. Follow my father's footsteps. Could I really do such a thing? Just like my dad. Aww. An attorney, like my father. Me. Alright. I think I'm gonna end it here. It's a good one to end it on. Okay, what's the next chapter about? Turnabout Legacy. That hat makes me think it's gonna be about Gregory. Turnabout Forsaken. That looks like K. I see the key. That's K. Turnabout for the Ages. That's gonna be about Eustace Winter. I have no idea what Eustace Winter's shtick is, but we're gonna end it here. Alright. Thank y'all so much for watching. I appreciate everyone. Had a great time with this game. Do we raid Scarlet? I don't know. She's a bit of a big VTuber, and she's playing football, like American football. Not American football. Actual football. EA Sports FC 25. I don't know. Maybe we could rate her. I wonder. Okay, I'm gonna. I don't wanna seem like I'm clout chasing. Okay, hold on. Let me check my let me just check my rated streamers. Okay. 16 Plastic Zion. Hold on, let me just like okay, you know what? I'm gonna raid anyways. I'll raid her anyways. Oh, cool. here's our raid message. If you're subbed, here's the alternate message. I've started to get acquainted with Scarlet. She's like, personally, I think she's an awesome bean. She has a passion for sports that I would never ever have in any lifetime, I think. So if you're into sports, you should definitely check her out. I don't know. I played with her once. I think she's pretty funny. Even when she was new to games, we had a lot of funny moments. So I hope that you guys will love her too. Oh wait, cancel. Whoops. Raid. I accidentally almost started the raid to a completely random streamer. Okay. Hey, okay, it works. So, it's a one-person raid, but you know what? I think she'll just appreciate for what it is. So, take care of yourselves, everyone. I appreciate you. I love y'all. Have a good Christmas holiday, and I'll see y'all next year. All right, see ya.